With just over 1 week to go, the entire British wrestling world gets ready for European Uprising, and we hear from some of the FWA stars going into the biggest matches of their career at the Birmingham NEC on November 20th. Hello, I'm Len Davis and welcome to Frontline. The scene has been set for the ultimate British wrestling showdown next weekend as Leroy Kincaid takes on Martin Stone for the FWA World Heavyweight title. The build-up to this huge main event will be looked at in more detail next week in a special Road to Uprising video feature. However, Francesca Wood caught up with both competitors over the past 2 weeks and got these comments.
I'm here with FWA World Heavyweight Champion Martin Stone. Martin, Leroy has accepted your terms and conditions for a title shot at European Uprising. What are your thoughts on this?
Leroy, well done. I gave you no other option but to accept those terms and conditions. Sunshine, the time is over. European Uprising, that's it. It's all been built into this one moment when you think you can actually stand in the ring with me, when you think you can actually perform, when you think you can actually stand there, look me in the eyes and pin my shoulders to the mat. You're a bigger fool than I thought, mate. And as God as my witness, I will be leaving Uprising as the FWA World Heavyweight Champion. Resistance is futile.
I'm here with Leroy Kincaid. Leroy, last week, Martin Stone laid out the conditions for his participation in the FWA World Heavyweight title rematch against you at European Uprising. But things seem to have gone from bad to worse, with the agenda inflicting serious injuries on both Terry Fraser and Alex Shane. With that in mind, what do you have to say?
Sorry, I'm just going to take this for a second. The first thing I want to say is, you mentioned the word participate. How dare there even be participate and world title shot in the same sentence? If you represent the very belt that I fight for, that this resistance fights for, it's not a participation, you just do it. So you represent that belt to the fullest, or you don't hold it at all. And I heard you also mention about Terry Fraser and Alex Shane, the latest victims of this so-called agenda. I tell you what, I and everyone backstage behind the locker room has had enough of this agenda, and it needs to finish. And the time it will finish will be the very time that you step in the ring. Conditions aside, I don't really care about no conditions because I'm fighting at 100%. It's going to be you and me, November 20th at the Birmingham NEC Arena. And I'll tell you one thing you need to know. At European Uprising, Leroy Kincaid will be raising his hand and sending you on a plane to America, one less title. So I don't really care what you got to say. I don't really care about title shots or stipulations or any more of this crap, because I'm here to fight first and foremost for what I believe in, and that's the FWA and representing that belt that you hold. So Martin, November 20th, Birmingham, European Uprising. You and me, and it's going to be a fight.
As you can imagine, British wrestling fans are waiting with bated breath for this collision of epic proportions as the war between the agenda and the resistance finally comes to a head. FWA head of content Alex Shane informed Frontline that he will be back in the office full-time from Tuesday and has a big shock in store for the agenda with regards to the upcoming match. Also on the card at Uprising, the Wonder Kid name will finally be on the line as rock star Spud faces Johnny Storm in a ladder match. Fans will remember the serious injury Spud received last November at FWA Hotwired, which put him out of action for several months until his return at British Uproar. However, Spud has had constant issues with his neck ever since and has had to pull out of several events, including FWA appearances at the London MCM Expo, in order to prepare for this hugely anticipated contest. There were rumours that Spud had told those close to him that he may in fact need to retire after Uprising as a result of the injury. And as you'll see from this interview, that may in fact be true.
Well, I've heard you've had a bit of trouble with your neck? Just elaborate.
Bit of trouble with my neck.
Yeah.
Bit of trouble with my neck caused by one Johnny Storm. Funny that, Johnny. Do you remember Hot Wire of November last year? Nottingham, exactly, Johnny. You know, you dropped me on my neck. You know? See that neck, Johnny? Yeah? I can't move my neck more than 45 degrees. Yeah, I may have came back too soon, they say. You know, 2 months after the injury, I was back in the ring. Do you know the chronic pain I've been in since that night, Johnny? Because you are a bitter, jealous old man, and you don't want somebody like me taking your spot. Johnny, let me talk to you man to man. I am going to be the new wonder kid of the FWA. Do you understand, Johnny? The Rockstar Spud is going to take what is yours. And I'm going to climb a 15-foot ladder. I'm going to look down on your carcass, look at your bald little head, look at your smug little face, and I'm going to take the Wonder Kid name. Now I know it's accustomed that some wrestlers will go, oh, this is probably my last match because it's injury. This is a legit injury, Johnny, that you caused. And it will probably mean the end of my career. Do you know what my career means to me, Johnny? This is my life. This is what I've worked for 10 years, and you want to take it away from me. Johnny, listen to me. I know it's a custom for most wrestlers to lose their last match. But Johnny Storm, look into my eyes when I tell you, if I have to die in that wrestling ring on November the 20th at the Birmingham NEC at FWA European Uprising, if I have to die in that ring, I'm going to die the Wonder Kid of the FWA.
The battle for the Wonder Kid name will no doubt go down in British wrestling history for multiple reasons.
Singh is accepting the challenge of El Ligero. Oh, what's that? That's a mask. What is Singh doing? Singh putting a mask onto Zach Diamond, similar obviously to that of El Ligero. And now what? Well, Diamond's out cold. This is completely unnecessary. What kind of human being is RJ Singh? And he picks him up again. Come on! This kid can't defend himself, for pity's sake. Referee Roberts, I think, needs to think about calling this off. Singh with that camel clutch. And a submission from Zach Diamond. RJ Singh making an example out of this XWA adrenaline youngster as he accepts the challenge of El Ligero. Let him go! Let him go!
Fans who subscribe to the FWA YouTube channel will probably have seen RJ Singh's shocking response to El Ligero's challenge. This feud has been brewing since the FWA's return show and has spiraled out of control ever since, with two of the most shocking moments in FWA history taking place as a result. The score will finally be settled by two of Europe's top flyweights next weekend at the Birmingham NEC.
The agenda winning Frazier being held backstage, but not over for Samuels yet.
What's the point you're trying to...
That's a very good question. What is the point?
What's the point you're trying to make? What's the point you're trying to make?
After a vicious beatdown at the hands of the Agenda, a furious Shah Samuels has issued a challenge to the Agenda's Joe Redman, Yestin Reese and Dave Morales. Shah's cartel partner Terry Frazier is out with serious upper spine damage as a result of Redman and Reese's devastating double-team German suplex maneuver at the London MCM Expo. Fans may recall that this is the same move that knocked him out temporarily at the Art of War. As Samuel searches for his team, BWC rookie Nick Riley, who FWA YouTube viewers will remember gave a great showing against Martin Stone at the London MCM Expo, stood up to the plate and became the first partner. However, Shah has told those close to the situation that he has a huge surprise in store for the Agenda when he reveals his final partner next week. Let's also not forget the first semi-final of the FWA Tag Team Title Tournament as Styx and Malin take on the leaders of the New School.
This is the resistance, and we need your help.